Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Minecraft. I swear I'm not threatening you with this sword, but hey, while we're here, did you know that statistically speaking, you're probably not subscribed? I'm just saying. Last time I built an entire underground villager breeding dungeon, and I tried to get a cool elevator thing going, and I couldn't quite figure it out. Right after I got that video done, I found Grian's video, the latest one as of the time that I was recording, and he had a much better solution. So let me take you down here, and I'll show you. So we got some honey, and then a hay bale down here instead of water, and you'll see why in just a second. You'll notice that even without any of my armor on, I barely took any damage, so I think this solution works okay. Then in each of these, we have wind charges. And as long as you stand in the middle, you get enough height to go out. If you don't stand in the middle, then you don't. So there is that bit of a downside. But you can see with feather falling, even if I don't hit the honey and I fall all the way down, we're good to go because of this hay bale breaking our fall. Now I wanted to use a hay bale because I need a solid block so that I can use a button. I wanted to use a button rather than a pressure plate so that it doesn't just trigger every time I land on it. That would kind of defeat the purpose of coming down here. But this is it. This is the entire circuit. This button is able to activate all 4 dispensers. And then we can go up. The downside of this is that it uses wind charges, which means I need wind charges. And wind charges are a little bit annoying to farm. So I'm gonna go grab some more of those. We'll try to fill this up. The good news about it is basically just that I don't need to use that very often, since it's really only there to replenish villagers or add new villagers as we need them, which means I'm not actually all that likely to go down there very often. Those wind charges I think are gonna have to wait, mostly because it takes forever for those spawners to recycle, whatever the word is, for them to become active again, which means it takes forever to collect them, and I so far only have the one, and if I want to get another trial chamber, I need to go find one, which either means getting a cartographer villager who will be completely useless after I get the map from him, or looking it up on a seed viewer utility. So, what are we doing in today's episode? I gotta tell you, this is something I have been mulling over for like 2 weeks now, and I'm still working on the answer. The thing is, we're now in what I would call the self-motivated stage of Minecraft. And basically what that means is that we have done everything that the game has to offer us. So what does that mean? Well, we crafted, upgraded, and enchanted all of our gear, except for this shovel. We've been caving. We found a village, or 2 or 3, really, several of them. Why am I always running into things? We built a mob farm. We got a few villagers. We raided an ocean monument or temple or whatever they're called and built a whole guardian farm. We raided a bastion and a fortress. We killed a dragon, explored the end, and got our wings. We raided an ancient city. I'm not flying back there for this joke. It's too far away. We fought through a trial chamber. So basically what I'm saying is all of the points of interest and goals and objectives that the game has put forward for us, we have done, except for maybe killing the wither, which I don't care about, except for getting the beacon. We'll probably throw one of them under the end portal at some point just to trap it and kill it that way, because I've done the other ways and I just don't care. And we haven't found like a woodland mansion, but I've done that before. So as far as the game content itself is concerned, the game's basically over. But for most of the Minecraft folk out there, at least most of the, let's call them professional content creator Minecrafters, this is where the game begins. And that is the struggle that I have had every time I play Minecraft. I get to this point and I stop playing. So I don't want to do that. we have an entire city to build here, but it means that now I need to actually sit there and do it. Why don't you have a pork chop? Have a pork chop. There you go. But actually doing it means that I need creativity. I need to actually think about what I want to put and where I want to put it and how I want it to look and all that stuff, which is what I am historically very bad at. It also means that I need a ton of resources, and needing a ton of resources means I need farms, or I just have to spend forever grinding and gathering resources, but I need to know what resources I need. This is the open-ended part of Minecraft. As I called it, the self-motivated part. So to start with here, we're gonna do something a little simpler. It's not that one, it's this one. We are in fact gonna go back down here and just finish building we're gonna finish building this out so that we can actually get villagers out of here. And we're gonna find a little, let's call it an employment center where we can decide what job they want and all that stuff and get them ready to go. And once that's built, maybe we can send a few over to the farmlands because we use most of them to create everything that we have here. So for getting the villagers out, I'm in my creative world, so you can kind of get the general idea here. I think I have a villager spawn egg. Oh, I'm not in game mode. Now I'm in creative. So if they hang out in there, we send a minecart through, it picks them up. Right now it's not quite working because they're all bunched up over here, but the general idea is that if we send it through here at a diagonal, it will pick them up, and that's how we're going to get them out of there. The glass is just here to give you sort of an example of how that's going to work, and also because, as you can see, villagers don't suffocate inside of glass, which is handy. I don't know how well this is going to work, but at some point, we need to get the villagers up and out, and we've already discovered that the water stream idea is not the greatest. And that does not seem to work either. So, if they're not in the minecart, this might work. Yes. Yes. Maybe. Yes, yes, maybe. No, they don't go quite high enough, I don't think. Oh, no, they might. So if we eject them just right, just like with us. Sorry, buddy. I think what we could do is kick them out of the minecart and into here. Oops. You see, this is why I didn't put a pressure plate. So maybe if in this case we had a cactus. I need to preface this by saying I understand how stupid this is. Oh, we can't just put a cactus there. Or is it a cauldron, maybe? Cauldron. I know that there is a way to break a minecart. I'm spacing on what it is right now. So, cut me some slack. All right, man. Nope, that's not it. Whatever. We'll figure this out later. The idea is there, and then I think what we would have to do is keep our piston door idea that we have over there, but see if we can activate it with like a tripwire or something down there so that when they pass this, it will trigger this and close it behind them at just the right time. This is an interesting future idea, but step one is just getting them out of there and into a holding pen. As you can see, I've made a big mess of things. The principle is here. This dispenser will send the minecarts up there, pick them up, and they'll go somewhere. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a river over here that I have to contend with. And the other problem is I needed this barrel as a way to get minecarts into that, which is great. But now I need a way to actually activate the dispenser. And my brain is currently blanking on how redstone works. So let me figure this out. Unsurprisingly, I was overthinking it. So here we have a sticky piston with a redstone block and then just a button. And when I activate the button, moves the block down, shoots one out. We are good to go. It shoots one and only one. So we can use that to activate this. And then we can load the... I'm going to put a torch down there just for fun, but we can load minecarts in there through this barrel. And then next, I just need to figure out getting this situation handled. So the basic construction should be complete, other than I need to fix this because that's a little ugly. Whoops. And probably close this corner up as well. So then all I really need to redo is these 3 blocks. But if we hit this button, yeah, it comes around here. The goal will be to probably have some kind of stop point here for them so that we can put down a workstation and figure out what it is that we want them to do. Ignore that ugliness as well. Yeah, I ran out of deep slate tiles. And then once that's done, we can send them off somewhere else. Once we figure out that whole villager launcher situation, I think that will be fun. But that's basically this. Let me just go get the last couple blocks to finish this up. And then I think it's time for us to complete some other things. Or maybe what we do is we get some carrots. And we birth a villager. And test this out for real. Let's put these... There. That should be fine. That's not redstone, that's pork chops. I came down here and was wondering why this door is open. I've seen it open a few times. And it occurs to me it's probably from the wind charges activating the door. So anyway, let's see if we can get these guys to poop out a baby, because that's how babies work. I don't remember if they like potatoes for baby making, but here, have some potatoes. And we'll see what happens. Don't mind me, I won't watch. Are you doing it yet? Hey. And in theory, if they make a baby, it should come out here. And then we are all set to eventually, whenever it grows up and we feel like doing it, send it into the employment center. I should grab an iron door for this. Oh, I heard a baby. Are you down here? There he comes. All right, it works. Excellent. All right, door is now installed. The rails go around, and we have 2 little pooplets in here. So we should be able to scoop them out using the minecart dispenser. Send them in here. Give them whatever job we want. They'll hang out here. I'll eventually set this up with some kind of activator rail or something. And then from there, we'll be able to send them off to wherever they need to go. But it's working. The breeder section is working. This grabby distribution send to employment center setup is working. Yep, indeed, it is this that is causing that. So maybe if I open it first, it'll close itself. We can close this off for now. I need to re-troubleshoot the iron farm because it's broken again. And I think now we can start building some farms. As I've been sitting here trying to figure out which farm I want to start with, it occurs to me that most of them require sticky pistons, and I have no slime whatsoever. So probably the first thing that I need to do, the first farm that I need to build before I can build a moss farm, which will be very useful for texturing out all this grass area once we get this village going. Excuse you, Enderman, put that back. There's going to be to build a slime farm so that I can actually make the redstone components required for most farms. Why did you lurk? Why did you put this here? Jerk. But in order to make a slime farm, I want to do the swamp-based kind, which means I need to find a swamp. I don't think I have found a single swamp in my entire time on this world. So that is step 1. While I'm out here looking for a swamp, I had an idea. I don't know if I will ever do anything with it, but I thought it was a kind of cool idea. And that is, I don't know if anyone's ever built their entire base inside an ancient city. I haven't seen it. I'm not saying it hasn't happened. But the neat thing about doing that would be that once you remove or disable all of the shriekers, no mobs can spawn there. It's a mob-free zone, so you can light it or not as you see fit, depending on what you want to do. So unlike most other places in the world, that would also mean... I want to grab this obsidian real quick. That would also mean that you could have truly free-roaming villagers. They could wander the entire city with no risk of harm ever coming to them. And I think that could be a cool idea. Not only that, but it's a cave-based base. A cave-based base. But it's one that you don't have to dig out. And I mean, you saw that ancient city a couple episodes back. That was a massive cave, and you wouldn't have to dig any of that out. It would just be done for you. Heck, there's already structures there for you. The city is basically built. So from a lore perspective, I think it might be neat to essentially reclaim an ancient city, renovate it, give it back to the villagers. Ow. And do that. I don't know that I care enough to move everything all over again, having just moved the base. Well, having moved a couple times now, I think. But, you know, just having a whole free-roaming villager trading hall city, I think that could be neat. So, unfortunately, it turns out all the swamps are way the heck far away from where my base is. There's this weird tiny bit of swamp connected to this mangrove swamp. There's another weird tiny bit of swamp over there, I think. But we don't need it to be any bigger than this, really. I think it only needs to be a chunk or 2 or 3. I am going to need some brown mushrooms, so I'm going to collect a few here just to get the process going. I forgot that that was part of the farm. Otherwise, I have most of what I need in this shulker box here. And I have some obsidian that we can use to make a portal back so that I don't have to waste half a stack of rockets looking for a freaking swamp again. Bit of a flaw in my plan here is, that swamp was probably too small. What you really want, by the way, I'm using Ilmango's design. I'll link that below. But what you really want is an area that is surrounded by flooded ground. The more water there is, the less you have to deal with other mobs being able to spawn. And so that really helps with the rates. And that was just too small and not flooded. There is somewhere that way, there should be another swamp that we can check out and use that. But in the meantime, I figured I might as well gather the materials that we're going to need. So it's a ton of slabs. It's actually more like that. But, you know, might as well have spares. We need all these blocks. We need some stairs. This is going to be water buckets. I need all these. These all need to be powdered snow. Hoppers and torches. And then just a crap ton of brown mushrooms, about 560. And I currently have 7. I don't think I have any in here. Hello? It doesn't look like it. I don't think I have any mushrooms. So I need to go... I need to go on a planting spree here and see how many I can get. Unfortunately, fortune doesn't help with that. You just need to use an axe. So I don't want this one because it's silk touch. I should probably just make a better axe here. Well, if my math is correct, and it usually is, this portal should take us into a much larger swamp. I had to build a big old nether tunnel to get here. Let's see what happens. Is this a swamp? It is a swamp. It's a really bad swamp. So we are looking for something more like this with all the water. I'm glad that it's raining right now. Great. I think here. Right here, I think is what we want. This is likely to get us the best spawn rates. I can't put a torch on that anymore? Okay. Here, we'll just make an ugly little pillar. For right now, I think I'll just leave the portal there because I'm feeling lazy about that. And I think ultimately... Yeah. I think ultimately I want to... Somewhere around here will be the slime farm. And I think then what I need to start thinking about doing is actually breaking my way through the roof of the Nether so that I can stop having to dig and bridge and all that, because that's pretty annoying. Step one is going to be to clear out some of these trees and then clear out some of the excess land around here just to make sure that nothing can spawn here. I've set up my home base, and then I think we'll get this going. I'm probably just going to be lazy and chop out the middle of the trees because they will despawn while I build the actual farm itself. So I think, and it's been a while since we've done this, I think it might be time for a time lapse. Let's hit it. Okay, so the farm should be done. Let's go ahead and use the old cheaty cam to take a look down here. And looking at this now, I built it, I think, a little too close to that. I'm gonna have to take out the rest of this dirt and probably all these trees. I think that dirt will be fine. And then, you know, my pillar there. But inside... Here we go. We got slime spawning. So the general idea behind this, if you haven't watched Mango's video, which you should do if you want to build this, is that in the swamp, slimes can spawn at light level 1, but nothing else can. So this farm takes advantage of the weird quirk that brown mushrooms emit a light level of 1. So this entire thing has a light level of 1, except for in here because there's a soul campfire to help kill them. But, you know, slimes hate iron golems, so they spawn in here, and they go after the golem, And they die because the powdered snow here, I think, injures them. That breaks them up into the smaller chunks, and then they go in here, hang out on this old campfire, and they die. And that's basically how this works. I just need to clean out the rest of this crud to really help our rates here, but you know, just out of curiosity here, we've been standing here not very long. That's an interesting set of biomes. Where's my... There it is. Whee! Wow. Yeah, so already 2 stacks and then some. So this is a crazy efficient farm. I'm just gonna ride my boat around and knock these out, I think. Which means that I don't have to spend a bunch of time AFKing here to get a decent amount of slime. I can just come here, hang out for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes and have just a ton of slime. So that is why I like to build hyper-efficient farms. It's a bit more work. I think in the video he says instead of using tinted glass, you can use any solid block, but he actually ends up telling you to use stairs instead. So bring an extra set of stairs that is equal to the amount of tinted glass that you would need to bring. I think that's like 108. And I feel like I wound up with not enough brown mushrooms. I don't know if that was an issue of not mathing correctly, which, ugh, I never do that. Or if it was just he didn't tell me to bring enough. So bring some extras just in case. You never know. Hello? What the heck? Just to really drive home the point about the rates of this stinking farm, this is like 5 minutes. So I'm gonna take all of this home. I'll leave that one, I guess. And yeah, I cleaned up all the rest of the trees. There's maybe a few weird, where the vines just decided that they were not going to go away. It's just weird. So, wow, yeah, super great success here. And now I think the last thing to do for this episode is... I think it's time to break through the roof. We are looking for... I think targeted block 127 is the idea. So a piece of bedrock up there at y equals 127. So that's that middle number on the coordinates. Oh boy, I just fell down. There we go. So up here, those are breakable. Well, we can get through the roof there, I should say. While I'm thinking about it, we should also check the coordinates of the portal here. So this portal, because we're gonna want to rebuild this. We have this going from minus 69,108, minus 69,111. Let me jot this down. Now, we begin the very loud process of breaking this. That was not ideal. Can I please just rip that obsidian, I guess? Great. Well, hopefully I have enough. I don't. And now this portal's broken. Okay. This is a problem. Let Let me go somewhere. Get some more obsidian. Ah! Okay, so now that I've gotten my obsidian back, we go back up here. And the idea is we're gonna use these ladders to work our way up to the roof. Yeah, so that's the block. And if I understand this correctly... and keep in mind, I don't think I've ever done this before. We go up this ladder, and we hold... sprint. And we throw an ender pearl. And now we are through. I should probably have made note of where that block was. So I'm standing on it. Good. Let's just make sure it's this block, I think. I know this is kind of cheaty camming, but we want to make sure we mark out which block it is. Let me put down my ender chest over here. And in order for this to work, we need a couple pistons. We need our obsidian, and we're gonna need lever and some TNT. So the idea here is we want our obsidian on either side of this. Did I bring a trapdoor? I hope I brought a trapdoor. A trapdoor! This is why we always bring a bonus chest. We put that there. This will all make sense in a minute. We're going to put our lever here, I think. We want piston there, facing west. And then I think it's just TNT, TNT. It's actually TNT, TNT. And we're gonna go into our keybinds. And we're gonna set this. So the end idea here is that we will use this. Oh, this is a little awkward right now, huh? We'll come here, and then we're gonna... So we'll come here, bonk. Cram ourselves into here, and we're gonna aim there and spam our piston. I've never done this before, so we'll see what happens. We gotta click this. Oops. And the lever's gone. I'm not so sure that having a shield equipped is helpful. Boy. Well, that didn't work either. But hey, we got the piston back. I'm gonna run out of levers in a minute. I don't think that worked. Let's check. Nope. I think that one worked. Hold on. Oh, crap. I see what I did now. That's the block I removed. This is the block I needed to remove. So I did it on the wrong side of the ladders there. There we go. That's what we wanted. Perfect timing too, now that my my lever broke. And we can put the final ladder down. Boom. So we need to put the portal, if we're trying to link it back up, at -69, which is here. 109, 108. So we'll put these two down. We'll grab some netherrack for the rest. And in theory, if we light this, it should link us back up to our overworld portal, and we're good. It did. Well, let's try going back through then and make sure it works both directions. Awesome. So we can get back down if we want to. I will make this a better ladder later, but now we have access to the top of the nether roof, and we can move all of our other portals up here so that we no longer have to deal with mobs down there because nothing spawns up here. So that is going to be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and I will see you guys next time. Boy, it's very lonely up here, huh? Oh, look, mushrooms.